Hello everyone, welcome to Automation in BeamNG Drive. My name is Tim, and today we're building a Lowrider. And one of the reasons we're building a Lowrider is because I've recently been watching videos on Lowriders, and one of them in particular was a Hilux meme, which is about a game I don't even own. And the song in the background was Lowrider by War, which is a song I've been listening to quite a lot, and I realized, you know what? I think it would be really cool if I built a Lowrider. Now, a lot of Lowriders have hydraulic or air suspension and stuff like that, so we're not exactly going to have that functional in BeamNG Drive, but that doesn't matter. We're going to be constantly low to the ground no matter what. Now, the vehicle itself is set to 1990 for technology and limitations and stuff like that, so let's just make the whole vehicle out of aluminum. And I don't know, just choose a random chassis ladder, corrosion-resistant steel, front longitudinal, double wishbone, and of course maximum quality. Now for the drive type, we're going to do rear-wheel drive. We're probably going to do automatic or something, 5-speed. And yeah, we're going to adjust the speed later of this, but I don't want it to go crazy fast. I want it to go relatively fast, but not stupidly fast, because my plan, no roof whatsoever. Radial tires, we're going to do either medium compound or hard long life or something. We want the rear tires to be really wide, since this thing is rear-wheel drive. And also, we also put a pretty big engine inside of this thing. I didn't show that part, but let me tell you which engine we put in. We put in the same engine found in the Darsenat and the Darsenat Emperor, which is a 600 horsepower, 9-liter naturally aspirated V12 that makes about, I want to say 780 pound-feet of torque or something like that. So yeah, a pretty darn powerful engine. And also, as we shape the vehicle, I'm just trying to figure out which shape I like, how long I want the doors to be, and just everything like that. I'm figuring out what type of wheel configuration I want as well. We're going to do alloy rims, vented discs since we don't have carbon ceramic. And yeah, let's just make them like that. Force and yeah. Now, whichever clad or under tray has the best aerodynamics is what I'm going to be choosing, because we're going to need aerodynamics for anything, anywhere we can in this thing, because it's going to have no roof. And now, yeah, basically we're going to do cooling airflow, high quality, all that. And you know what? Let's give this thing basically maximum seating, just to make this thing heavy, because every vehicle with this engine is relatively heavy. Now, we're going to give it a pretty nice interior as well. And now, for this vehicle, we got to give it the best steering system possible. And we also have to give it the best traction aids that the time will allow, which is traction control and ABS, advanced safety. We'll make it heavy. And we'll focus some of the weight more towards the rear, because this thing's probably going to be pretty front heavy with a 9-liter V12. Hydro pneumatic, of course. And now, twin tube, passive, we're going to make this thing ultra low to the ground, obviously. And yeah, we're of course going to make it maximum quality. This thing's not going to be cheap by any stretch of the imagination. We'll make the tires slightly larger so we can fit big rims on this thing, because a lot of lowriders do have pretty big rims and relatively thin tires, but on those, they're more stylized, and it kind of makes a little bit of sense on those. So yeah, I usually let it pass on lowriders and vehicles that are more stylized. Like, putting big wheels on those makes a little bit of sense. Now we're going to modify the vehicle by removing all the rear windows and the roof and keeping the windshield. That's it. We're going to make sure that the vehicle itself looks cool by giving it a front hood vent, so air can get into the engine, because after all, it's a pretty big engine after all. And we're going to make the interior extra comfortable and nice. I want to try and fit 4 people in here despite this being a coupe. And yeah, because I feel like that's a good idea. Getting 4 seats in here will make this thing sell better. It'll make it more appealing to people and all sorts of stuff like that. Gotta give it 4 cup holders, nice. automatic transmission. The interior is painted with green and wood, green cloth and Alcantara with wood, light colored wood. We're going to put those vents in the interior for speakers. We're going to give it big wide exhausts at the rear, some fins that are relatively small but definitely noticeable. The lights on the back are really cool in my opinion. They're basically vents, but they have a 3D object inside of them that's programmed to be a light, essentially. And we're going to put a little turn signal up top with the big main headlight on the bottom for the actual headlights and stuff like that. And you know what, now that I think about it, we're going to put the headlights inside the grill because I feel like that's actually a really cool look. I'm not even going to lie, I actually really like it. Now we're going to paint it purple, and we're going to give it a name. That's right, Doro Macarta. It's a bit long, but you know what? I feel like it's pretty good. After all, the model trim itself is called Long Low Boy, and boy with a B-O-I, because we can't just call it B-O-Y. That would be wrong. We're going to put Doro Macarta into the actual title itself so we can actually know its official name, because Low Long Boy does not sound like a really good official name. It sounds like a name people would think we're immature for using. And now, let's go to BeamNG Drive! And we're on the racetrack, Hirochi Circuit. And let's go! Okay, let me say something. Despite this engine having like 600 horsepower, this thing isn't the best at delivering power. And oh, I forgot. This thing has early 90s traction control. So it's not exactly the best, to say the least. But it can pull pretty cool drifts and stuff like that. And hey, the inside, let me say this, the inside's absolutely wonderful. We have our little speaker hole things on the dashboard, and we even have some in the rear as well, so we can listen to our epic jams while we drive and stuff like that. But all I can really hear right now is the engine, because we're pushing this engine awfully hard for what we're doing, and that's pretty crazy, to be honest. Okay, let's take this turn and not spin out, because I drove this thing a little bit before doing this, and yeah, this thing kind of likes to spin out, like even more than the Darsenat, which is, oh, we just spun out. Oh, hey, we did a 360 and we're back forward. Nice. And yeah, that's the type of spin out that I don't mind. Okay, and we're obviously in second place. I think there's only one car that I could drive that would actually get me into first place with this, because seriously, this racetrack, it always puts me up against like racers that are always faster than me and stuff like that. Like the other car, much faster. Now we finished the racetrack, and let's see what we got. Oh, yeah, we did not even qualify. If you're wondering what the 11 minutes and 9 minutes ago thing was, that was me racing my purpose-built race car around the Hirochi Circuit, and yes, I beat everything when I did that. Both of them got first place. And now, let's go to the drag race. I'm currently inside the Lowrider right now, and we're racing against another one of us. That's right, we're racing against another Lowrider, and basically we're gonna see which one is faster, the AI or the human. And now, let's get ready and go! Okay, this thing is pretty fast to 0 to 60. I think this thing did it in like about 5 or so seconds or something. We're already at 100 to almost 120. Yeah, we lost. We lost by just a fraction of a second. But hey, thing is, their car is beautiful, and so is our car. Probably because we're driving the exact same cars and stuff. And I like how it says, did not qualify. Okay, now we're going the next race right here, and we're racing against the Darsenat, which, keep in mind, is about 1,000 pounds heavier than us, because it has a roof and windows and is more spacious on the inside and stuff. And now, let's go! Okay, yeah, we're beating them fair and square because, well, duh, they're stupid and slow compared to us, our cool new fashionable Lowrider. And also, yeah, they never stood a chance anyway. Fairly so, yeah, and also I'm fairly certain their stopping distance is a whole lot. Oh! I did not expect their stopping distance to be that much longer than ours. But yeah, we succeeded, but still did not qualify. And now, let's go race against another vehicle I made that could be considered a lowrider. And that's right, we're racing against my Crash Bucket. And now let's go and... oh. Yeah, I should have also mentioned that the Crash Bucket weighs like half as much as this lowrider and has like 900 horsepower, so yeah. And sub 10 second. That's actually pretty good if I say so myself. And yeah, their brakes are probably better because, well, of course their brakes are better. They're probably like carbon ceramic and stuff like that. And yes, of course we failed. But don't worry, let's try another foe. Let's see who we race against next. And, oh, it's the Grusho Hada, my first car with no roof or windshield. Basically, my lowrider was trying to imitate that, but with the very least, a windshield for some creature comforts. And now let's go and... oh, yeah, of course they're winning, because why would they? In fact, also, their car is significantly lighter than ours. It has a lot of carbon fiber and stuff. And our car is mostly aluminum and steel. But they actually did pretty good down the drag strip, I'm not even gonna lie. And also, if you're wondering, their car is supposed to be yellow, not white. And once again, we did not qualify, but 18 millisecond reaction time. That is, like, seriously impressive. And now, I have an idea. Let's just drive around the city, and before you ask, no, we're not taking this thing off-road. This thing would get stuck like a bajillion times, and yeah, let's just spin out. Pretty cool. And also, yeah, this right here, this is our off-roading. And even that, it kind of struggled because of just how low it is to the ground. Like, I'm not even kidding. This thing, the moment it touches grass or sand, it struggles. Like, it doesn't come to a complete stop, but it struggles to keep in a straight line and struggles to get moving or something, unless it's already moving, which luckily it already was. And now, let's take this thing somewhere special. That's, of course, we're going to take it to the city, probably going to take it over that big suspension bridge in the distance and stuff like that, and you know what? I have an idea. Oh yeah, actually no, I found it. I found the way out of here. I finally did. It's totally like it was not just in plain sight right there. I finally found it, and now all we have to do is figure out which way we'd like to go, because just remember, lowriders, they drive slow because the people driving them usually just enjoy them and stuff like that. They don't take them racing and stuff, and that's the thing I like about lowriders. And also, this city right here, pretty neat. Probably not the best for a lowrider, considering this thing's about 19 feet long, but it's still pretty cool if I say so myself. And also, this is just a really cool vehicle, if I have to say anything. Like, I love the fact that it's just purple, has no roof. I love the grille design. It's a little unorthodox for most modern cars, but I feel like it's a pretty cool design anyway, because it has lots of chrome. The headlights are in the grille itself, and it's just really neat. But yeah, that suspension bridge in the distance, we're going to cross it, and we're going to take, like, a little different path than stuff like that. We're going to take a different path than we've taken in other videos, because I personally think that this thing is just a really cool vehicle, and we should just enjoy driving it and stuff like that, instead of just rushing to go places, even though we are going, like, 120. Also, if you're wondering, this thing tops out at 130. Yep. 130 is what this thing tops out at. I set it at that because no lowrider should be going 200 miles per hour. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, we're not going that way. Okay, and you know what? I decided, let's go this way, because I've actually barely done any exploring around here. When I play BeamNG Drive, I mostly just drive however I feel like it, and barely take any time to explore, and okay, this is actually really cool, I'm not even gonna lie. We go through not one, but 2 tunnels. That is actually really cool, and I really, really like that. And you know what? This vehicle right here, I also modified it so that all the engine sounds come into the actual vehicle itself. The cabin has 0 dampening whatsoever. And also, if you're wondering, there is no roof sold separately. This thing just doesn't have one. Not a hard top, not a soft top, nothing. This vehicle has nothing, so if it rains, tough luck, and just grow waterproof hair or something like that, or comb your hair in a way that it turns into an umbrella or something like that. I don't know. We don't supply roofs for this vehicle, and we never will. And also, we will send a cease and desist to anyone who makes an aftermarket roof for this vehicle, because it would ruin this vehicle's cool, retro, 80s, tubular, lowrider styling. Actually, no, late 80s, early 90s styling, and yeah, this thing can barely go up a curb. That's how low this thing is to the ground. Like, my goodness. I think the exhaust pipes are, like, about an inch from creating sparks on the ground because of just how low this thing is. Like, to be fair, this is probably my lowest vehicle I've made. I'm fairly certain the only vehicle I've made that is lower is my turbine thrasher at full speed, because when it's that fast, the downforce actually gets to a point where it is just barely touching the ground. It is just barely above the ground, barely scraping or anything like that, and that's when it's like going like 340 or something. This thing will never see that because, well, it's not designed for that, and oh, darn it. Oh, darn it, we hit the wall. That's not good or fun or anything. And, oh, we can end the video right here because I don't see any fences. And, oh, I'm mistaken. There are fences. And, oh, that's not good. Hopefully this thing has seatbelts, to be honest, because, yeah, if that were the case, we'd just have people flying out of the window, flying out of the vehicle, and, oh, this is seriously what the vehicle gets stuck on. A curb that literally every vehicle I know of that isn't a purpose-built race car could go over. That is absolutely pathetic. But let me say this, I think it's about time to end the video here. This was a short video, but hey, it wasn't supposed to be super long. And cowabunga! Bye! You really thought I wasn't gonna take this thing off-road? Of course I'm gonna take it off-road, and I'm gonna flip it over as well. Oh, this thing. You know what? Right now, I feel like I'm in Mad Max Fury Road, or Furiosa, or whatever the newest Mad Max movie is. Right now, that's how I feel driving this thing in the desert, and let me say this thing sucks at driving in the desert. It's rear-wheel drive, way too heavy. It is also, I don't even think the tires are the right compound. No, they're not, but you know what? Next video, it's probably going to be a desert roaming vehicle or something like that, now that I think about it, because that just sounds awesome. And also, this thing, I'm just having a lot of fun driving this in the desert, getting horrible fuel economy according to that chart right there. And also, I just love throwing around dirt, making smoke screens from nowhere. It's wonderful. Truly wonderful. And you even get a view to see the front end of this thing, which is pretty cool, because that is probably my favorite part of this vehicle. And you know what? I absolutely love this thing. It's a wonderful vehicle, and bye!